The numbers are in, and they're absolutely devastating. Angel Reese, the player the media has been shoving down our throats as the face of the WNBA, just got humiliated in the most public way possible. The All-Star voting results dropped, and Reese didn't even crack the top 10. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is sitting pretty at number 1 with over 515,000 votes, absolutely destroying everyone else. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about the biggest con job in women's sports getting completely exposed. For months, we've been told Angel Reese is this massive superstar. Forbes literally published articles calling her the driving force behind the WNBA's growth, while completely ignoring Caitlin Clark's impact. The league's official accounts were constantly pushing Reese's highlights. She was getting prime interviews where she'd tell everyone how she's the reason people are watching women's basketball. The endorsement deals started flowing before she'd even proven herself. Everything was perfectly aligned for a superstar launch, except for one tiny detail: her actual performance on the court. When those voting numbers dropped, the disconnect became impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark didn't just win. She demolished the competition with 515,993 votes. Behind her, Napheesa Collier grabbed 484,758 votes. Aliyah Boston, who most casual fans couldn't pick out of a lineup, somehow managed 446,961 votes. Even players like Kelsey Mitchell cracked the top 10 with hundreds of thousands of votes each. So where was Angel Reese? She came in 13th place. After months of non-stop promotion, she couldn't even break into the top 10 of players fans actually want to see. The voting breakdown tells an even more brutal story. Fans get 50% of the vote, while players and media each get 25%. That means fans have the biggest say, and they spoke loud and clear. They looked past all the headlines, ignored the manufactured hype, and voted for players who actually deliver. The gap between Clark's 515,000 votes and Reese's much smaller total isn't just a popularity difference. It's a canyon-sized rejection of the media narrative. What makes this even more telling is who else made the top 10. Napheesa Collier is having an MVP-caliber season. Aliyah Boston brings championship pedigree and consistent excellence. A'ja Wilson is a proven superstar. These are players who earned their spots through performance, not marketing campaigns. Fans recognize the difference between complete players and someone who excels in just one area, no matter how much that skill gets hyped. The stats behind Reese's struggles tell the story the media won't. Sure, she leads the league in rebounding, and that's impressive. But her shooting percentage sits around 31%, which is brutal for a post player getting high percentage looks near the basket. When you're missing more than 2/3 of your shots, it's impossible to make a case for all-star status. Basketball in 2025 requires more than being good at one thing. This disconnect reveals something bigger about star building in women's sports. You can't just decide someone's going to be the face of the league and expect fans to go along with it. When fans feel like a narrative is being forced, they push back. The voting results are fans saying, "We've been watching the games and we know who really deserves to be there." Authenticity matters more than marketing budgets. Angel Reese has impressive social media follower counts, but followers don't translate to votes, tickets, or viewership. A lot of those followers might be casual observers or bot accounts. Real fan engagement means people who care enough to vote, show up to games, and invest their time supporting a player. The all-star voting exposed the difference between artificial metrics and genuine connection. The media's role raises serious questions about credibility. When major outlets consistently push narratives that don't align with fan sentiment or on-court reality, they risk losing trust. Fans aren't stupid. They see through manufactured storylines. The voting results are essentially a fact check on months of questionable media coverage. Caitlin Clark's dominance makes perfect sense when you consider her actual impact. She's not just putting up numbers. She's changing the entire conversation around women's basketball. She's selling out arenas, driving ratings, and creating moments people want to share. That's organic stardom that can't be manufactured through PR campaigns. Fans recognized it, even when media outlets were hesitant to acknowledge it. This situation shows how quickly narratives can shift. One set of voting results completely flipped the conversation and exposed how artificial the earlier hype really was. The speed at which the Angel Reese as face of the WNBA narrative collapsed proves how fragile manufactured storylines are when they're not backed by genuine performance. The lesson for future star building is clear. Let players earn their status through performance, rather than trying to create stars through promotion. Fans want to see players who deserve the spotlight actually get it. No amount of marketing can substitute for genuine talent and audience connection. This could actually benefit Angel Reese's career long-term. Instead of being propped up by unsustainable hype, she now has clear feedback about what fans want to see. The rebounding ability is real, but fans want more complete development before crowning her a superstar. That's honest feedback that can fuel real improvement. The broader impact on the WNBA could be significant. This shows fans are engaged enough to participate in voting and make thoughtful decisions based on what they see on court. Over half, 1 million people voting for Clark shows real passion for the league's future. The gap between media hype and fan reality needed to be exposed, and this brought everything back to earth. What's particularly striking is how this reveals power dynamics in sports promotion. Despite months of pushing Reese as the league's face, fans had the final say through their votes. Athletic achievement and genuine fan connection matter more than marketing strategies. The audience isn't passive. They're actively evaluating what they're told and making judgments based on what they see. This whole situation highlights how different players connect with audiences. Clark's appeal spans traditional basketball fans, casual viewers, and people who might not normally watch women's basketball. Her game transcends typical fan bases and brings new people to the sport. That's exactly the star power the WNBA needs. And fans recognized it when some media outlets wouldn't. The voting results prove that manufactured storylines collapse when confronted with genuine fan engagement. Fans have shown they're smart enough to see through artificial hype and reward authenticity over marketing spend. The league needs to rethink its promotion approach and focus on letting stars emerge naturally through performance, rather than creating them through campaigns. In the end, the all-star voting exposed what needed exposing. The gap between media narrative and fan reality was too wide to ignore. It's not about tearing anyone down. It's about ensuring the right players get earned recognition and that future efforts are grounded in actual performance. The fans have spoken with crystal clarity. Show us greatness on the court, and we'll show you love at the ballot box. Anything less gets you exposed exactly like Angel Reese when the votes were counted and the truth finally came to light.